Hi everyone, my name is Nicole and welcome to my channel. Today we're changing up the scenery a little bit. It has been a minute. I have taken a couple weeks off. It was very much needed to just kind of like recharge myself with things that have just been going on in my personal life. And as you can tell, we're in a different space. I have actually changed um, my filming spot in my home, and I have brought you into a newer space where I typically sew. And I'm actually sitting at my sewing station right now, but I moved it around a little bit in that room to bring me in front of two very large windows that get sunlight most of the day. And right now it is currently 7:45 p.m. and I'm still getting an amazing amount of sunlight in my window. So I'm hoping that this is going to help improve the quality of my videos and help with all of the lighting issues that I have been struggling with um, for a while. Today's video, this is all just going to be a thrift haul. As I have been recharging over the last few weeks, I really haven't done much crocheting. I have done tiny snips of knitting. I have actually cast on and knit, let's see, I've casted on one, two, three pairs of socks, but I really haven't been crocheting or knitting because I've just been recharging, trying to find my space again. Um, and in that time, I've been doing a lot of thrifting. My husband is in the fire service and I've got to get a way to get that turned around. It's just going to drive me nuts. I have two local thrift stores that I check every once in a while. One of them is the St. Vincent de Paul Society. The other one is the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army, I typically check on Wednesdays because that is their half off day. And the St. Vincent de Paul, I like to check them once or twice a week. I love a good vintage linen find. And if I'm going to find it, that's where I'm going to find it at. And I want to show you what I found because I have really found some bangers this last 2 weeks. I have 3 bags that I am going to share with you. Please keep in mind this is not all from one day from one store. This is from those two stores over 2 weeks. So this is about 4 different visits. So this is over 4 visits. So 2 visits to two each. But I have to share with you what I found because there is some upcycling in these that we are going to do because I want to get back on my thrifted upcycle videos for this channel because I am so excited. And there was also a yarn score in all of this, and some notions too that I am so excited about. So the first thing, I'm just going to grab a bag and we're just going to start doing this because I get to clean my space off too. But can I just share my chicken? This is my chicken hot pad. I am so excited about this thing. It was just sitting here on my desk, so I had to share it because, okay, that's it. Let me grab this stuff and we'll do our thrift haul. Okay, so I had to pull this out of my closet, and I'm showing this with intention because this is going to make sense when I show this. My feed on TikTok has been full of these projects, and I think it's because I went down that reclaimed, recycled thread, and I wanted something for a graduation party to wear, and I found this shirt that I really wanted to upcycle. And you guys, look how cute this is. This was a men's Izod shirt, and I upcycled it to a ruffled collar and made it shorter to make it more feminine, and I absolutely love it. And when I was at this graduation party, I can't tell you how many people asked me where I got it at. I said, oh, it's a men's shirt. I got it at the thrift store and just upcycled it and sewed it and, hemmed it and all that kind of thing. I currently have a list of people now that I need to make shirts for. So that is on our list, and that is what I'm going to get into showing you first, is the amount of men's shirts that I've purchased to do this project for. And one, I'm not sure if it's actually going to work for this because there is a stain or a mark on the shoulder. So we're going to find out when I go to wash these. If that stain does not come out, or if that is actually a stain, we're going to cut the whole sleeve off, and we're going to try to do a sleeveless ruffle around the top here to make it a sleeveless ruffled shirt. So let's get into showing you the awesome men's shirts that I got to upcycle to ruffles. Okay, so first I want to note that when I look for the shirts, I'm looking for specifics. One, it's got to be 100% cotton. I don't get anything other than that. And I'm finding that it is just your name brand shirts that are 100% cotton. Eyes on, Nautica, Tommy Hilfiger, Polo Ralph Lauren, and there might be another one in here. But I did grab a bunch because why wouldn't I? I like to have some options. A couple in a couple different sizes. And I'm just going to go through them really quick to show you because this will likely transpire into more detail later on in future videos. So I have first, I'm so excited for this one. This one is my absolute favorite, I think, out of the bunch. This is a Ralph Lauren. This is also this is a Jones of New York. This one I grabbed for myself after doing that pink one. I really wanted a red and white one, but this is the one, it has a mark on the top of the sleeve. So when we wash this, we're going to see if it comes out. If not, this is going to be our ruffled, the sleeveless ruffled one. This is an Adam Levine. I didn't know he made shirts, but the reason why I got it was the pocket detail. The pocket detail sold me. And there is another one in here too of his that I really, really like. Here is an Izod. This one is a Tommy Hilfiger. This one would be great for fall. Nautica. Another Nautica. Another Nautica. This one I really love. This one reminds me of the beach. And then I am starting to dig Izod prints. So here is an Izod, and I love how they do their embroidered logos on the pockets too. I think that's so good. This one is so good. It's blue and light yellow for an Izod. This is another banger. I love this one, tan and white Izod. As you can see, these were all marked $4.99 and it was half off day. So $2.50, yeah, let's upcycle some shirts. And then lastly, there is this one, which is also an Izod. And this is a really, really pretty pink. I do have a couple more in one of these other bags behind me from today when I ran out on my lunch break. I did find a couple more to add to this collection, and you'll see why. So far, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So far that's 12 men's shirts, but they're in a range from sizes anywhere from medium to extra large. And an extra large, I wear a 2X, and an extra large men's fits me comfortably. So that, to me, that's a pretty good size range. So at least the girls that I have, they have a couple different ones to pick from. So I feel like they have some options at least. Also, from that day was this piece that I found. And what is this one? It is Zach, and I'm not sure. The tag is still covered up. Like it was a made in China piece. 100% lyocell. But this I actually got for myself. It's a really pretty flowy piece, and that is the whole reason why I got it, was just because of the flow for it. Now, this, you guys, we're going to have to upcycle. I lost a lot of weight a couple years ago, but the one thing that I was never able to get rid of was my bat wings. And I love how this shirt looked on me, but I don't love how the top of the sleeve looks. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to give this a whirl, and we are going to try to open up a seam in the back here, maybe where this splits, and we'll run this up the side and maybe insert some of that lace that we picked up in that one scrap bag that I showed not that long ago. I'm not 100% sure, but that is where my mind is thinking. It does fit me. I can very much easily wear it without a problem. It's, whenever something just isn't 100%, but you love everything else about it, that's why I grabbed it. I love everything about it. Fits good. The arm though, the bat wings, man, if there was one thing that I could change. But that's okay. Before I get into those other bags, this was the banger of the yarn, and I couldn't wait to open this up. So this was in the bag on one of the hooks in the craft section, and it was filled. What caught my eye was this, and if you know, you know. Like, this is on every Premier Yarn ad, I swear, that is on Facebook. And it's one of their patterns. And I was like, okay, that caught my eye. So, because I knew what it was. So I grabbed it and started looking around at it. I'm so glad I got it. So in this bag is the, I think somebody bought this as a kit off of Premier, but I'm not 100% sure. But what makes me feel that it is because this is actually barcoded with a Premier barcode. So that's why I believe that it is. And it is the crochet and knit pattern. So it's here. Now, along with this came the correct yarn for the trinket in this really cute pink color. And then also a matching cotton. So I think this may have been a kit. Okay, so I can see that we're starting to white out. So that is something else we might have to tackle, is the whiting out. It's either too light or too dark, you guys. Like, I can't find a happy medium here. So there we go. So a pink and a trinket. Okay, there it is. Okay. So I think this might have actually been a kit that was purchased from Premier. I was happy with this. And then this guy was tucked inside, wrapped around this pattern. Yes. Yes. A hank of Malabrigo. Of Malabrigo, however you spray it. It comes out Malabrigo to me, but I know it's Malabrigo. A hank of Malabrigo was in with this. Now this is a DK weight, I'm presuming. It looks DK to me. It doesn't look like it's a worsted, but it is a pure superfine merino wool, 200 yards, 50 grams. So a 50-gram hank of this beautiful green variegated yarn. And all of that was in this bag, marked $4.99, and it was half price day. How could I? So I thought I was getting a deal at just trying this with the pattern, because it's one of those things that you're like, oh yeah, let's try it, but you never want to buy it because why? Because it's trinket yarn, and it's one of those novelty yarns that you don't really think that it's necessary or that you're going to like it, and you don't want to spend your money on it because you think you're going to hate it. $2.50. Hello, Malabrigo. And let me think. The last thing that I got on half off day at the Salvation Army this part was excluded from the half off stuff, but I didn't care because they were 99 cents anyways. There was some sewing patterns. So I got this one with the 2 Chelsea bags, this one, which is the in-town bag. So there's a pattern for both of those. This one here, and then there is one more bag pattern. It is actually out in my kitchen. I didn't bring it in here with me, but these were all 99 cents. And they do have the full pattern and instructions on the inside of those because I'm currently in my sewing bag stage era, evidently. So that was the Salvation Army. And then for this day, I went over to the St. Vincent de Paul, and it's going to sound noisy because this is wrapped in paper, so I apologize. Okay, let's see if I can do this without dropping anything more on the floor. I found this, and this was $2. Inside this, and there was two things in here, which was the whole reason why I bought the whole thing, was a bunch of knitting needles and crochet hooks. Actually, I should say there's more than two things in here that I bought, but there was why I bought it for, but two main things, the reason why. The first one is this. This is what sold me on this whole set. This is a vintage crochet hook. I have tried to actually put this in my sizer. There we go. To see what millimeter this is. And I actually can't get it to go through the right way. And I'm afraid to even try to get it in for fear, because there's a little bit of a bow to it right here. I am just going to try to do my best and size it up with size it next to one of my clovers and just call it close enough. But I had to have it just because of this vintage crochet hook. It is so, so good. And then other than that, there was a really good set of vintage Zephyr DPNs in here. They are a size 4. And these puppies are marked 39 cents. Those are still in like their original OG packaging. Loved these. And then in here too, there's another set of DPNs. And based off the way that they look, I think they might be the same brand. But they're just a different size. So hold on a second here. Okay, there it is. So these ones, there was another set of 4, and then there was 2 skinny ones. So I'll use these ones for my socks, and these ones will go in my other stash for whenever I do garments. Now, the rest of what is left, we have a stitch holder, a loom, I think this is what this is, and then there's a couple random circulars. This set of circulars I thought was interesting. This, I think, is a vintage pair, but correct me if I am wrong, please. These have a metal cord. So not the plastic cable. Those ones are metal. There's also a giant hook in here. There is only one, but this is still great to do the, oh, what is it called? Broomstick. Is it a broomstick knit? What do they call that? I think it's something like that. There was this pair of vintage knitting needles. These I might actually put, I have some other vintage knitting notions sitting on a decorative shelf here, like this old spool that was never opened that still shows 29 cents. So I think what I might do is just set up like a little vintage display. And I think I might just put these with it because it still has the flat, like it has the flat piece on the top, and they're metal, they're in good shape. I'm starting to lose daylight, so I can't tell. Is it say? Yeah, it says 4 up there, but it's, they're so good, so good. And then other than that, there is a brand new one of these. a couple plastic crochet hooks. These will end up going in my sewing table. I'll use these to poke out the corners of my projects instead of scissors. A large pair of knitting needles, another random crochet hook. Here's another pair of older another pair of older knitting needles, but not quite as old as the other one, and then just like a couple random ones. So that whole set was a $2 score. But this guy is the winner. I think he might go up on the shelf or something similar to that too, with my thread and maybe those other knitting needles. All right, I'm going to move this and not make it crinkly. And then I'm going to show you what the next bag brings that I found this same day, because it's so good. It's so good, you guys. Somebody must have been cleaning out someone's house that was a sewer. And there was one bag in here that I didn't even open yet because I was kind of waiting it to do this, but I'm very anxious to get to this bag. This is a mix. This was a mix of, hold on one second. Okay, so the same place that I grabbed those knitting notions, look at these vintage bed sheets. 2 twin flat sheets, $2.50. We're sewing something fabulous with this, and we are going to possibly quilt, outline border, something around these flowers to make them big and beautiful. And we have so much of this fabric to use. I don't know what we're going to make. Sir, please don't do that. I know one of these has some paint splotches on it, so I'm afraid once we get into it, there's going to be more. So one of these is definitely going to be a cutter. I don't know what we're going to get into. I do have more sheets that I want to show you that I can't wait. Part of me wants to take one of these sets and turn them into a pair of pajamas, because there is something just about the feel and comfort of a good quality vintage sheet that I feel like that it screams pajamas to me. So I don't know. I've really been tossing it around though, but my gosh, guys, look how good this is. Oh, and then I get not one, but two of them. Oh, it's so good. And then I also found from there, there was this red, white, and blue star piece. It definitely was homemade. There's a piece of red satin on it. You can see marked 50 cents. I don't know if it was somebody that made a pillowcase out of it. I'm not sure. I want to do an American flag t-shirt for myself. And I grabbed that because I'm not sure if that's going to be good for the white fabric. But I ended up finding something today that I think is going to work better. But for 50 cents, I'll use that for the fabric. And then look how cute this is. This was marked as a table runner. It clearly just is like a piece of fabric that somebody just sewed the ends in. There's not even an opening. Oh yeah, there is. There's an opening at the top, not at the bottom. So somebody sewed this as a valance, I bet. They had it marked as a runner, but this was definitely a valance of some sort. I don't know what we're going to use it, but I had to have it because of the little farm sceneries on it. So this is going to go into the stash of super cute fabrics, and we will figure out something with this. And then that was it for that store. No, I lied. This was there was 3 $1 grab bags. 1, 2, 3. Yes, there was 3 $1 grab bags, and they were all just fabric pieces. One was this piece of dog fabric. I mean, it's probably a fat quarter. And then there was a piece of this pink, which was a fat quarter. And then there is a two bandanas in it. I got it because of the bandanas. We're gonna try to make this viral bandana bag um because I want to make one. Who doesn't want to make one at this point? I mean, probably some people, but who knows. So that was $1 bag. The next $1 bag had this kind of dingy, I don't know, but this has a rustic look to it, and I have an idea for it. Some kind of random bare fabric, I don't know. This purple floral, there's a good chunk of that here. Maybe like a quarter of a yard. It's pretty. I think I have a use for it. Then there was this massive amount of fabric. I don't really particularly care for it. I'm not all about it. But what was in this bag that I wanted and had to have it for was this. And this is what sold me on this one. Somebody clearly took the time, and these are vintage, obviously. I have no idea though from what, but look at these pieces that somebody cut out of either a sheet or I mean, if I really had to guess, I would say this probably came from a sheet, but I have no idea. But it was just so good. Look at that one. Oh, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but it's so, so good. And then there are some little sunflowers. If you have seen this before and you know where this comes from, please let me know. I would love to know the history behind this. I might actually have to take a picture of this and see what Google tells me, but oh, so good. So, 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 so good. Okay. And then the last $1 bag was this. And this, it is machine stitched. Yeah, it is machine stitched. It is not hand sewn by any means, but it is a giant topper. And that's folded in half. It does have some stains, it does have some wears, but we are going to clean this up and soak this because I absolutely adore this vintage fabric. And I am thinking porch goose, not porch goose. My husband just bought me a porch goose for Mother's Day, and we just changed his outfit. So that's why I'm thinking porch goose. I am thinking sorry, my dog was trying to get in the bag. I am thinking the 1980s kitchen goose with the blue bow. I'm really into that right now, and I don't know why. And I'm getting all of the vibes from that when I see this. So that makes me want to take this and maybe do like an embroidered goose with the blue bow over top of this, and maybe do like a book or a Bible sleeve or some sort. And I don't know, but I see white kitchen goose with the blue bow when I see this, and that's where my heart went. So I feel like that's what this needs to be a little bit of, but there's so much of it here. This quilted piece is definitely at least a yard and a half big. So there's plenty there to do something with. Okay, that was the end of day one. Now into day two. It gets even gooder. If gooder was a word. We went back to the Salvation Army. Obviously, it was a Wednesday. This was just this last Wednesday. Sorry, dog detour. They're coming and going. They own this room, I think. They think they own this room. We went back to the St. Vincent. No, well, St. Vincent de Paul, yes, but we went to the Salvation Army first for half off day, and I found more cutter quilt tops that somebody had started. Again, these are definitely machine stitched, not hand done by any means. somebody really put some time into this. This first one, it was marked $5.99. I paid $2.99 for this. I'm going to pull this staple out really quick. I hate how they staple these. I really wish they wouldn't do that. But this, there we go. Somebody put some time into this. I mean, this would make a very beautiful lap blanket, but there is just so many different fabrics. You can tell that this was a scrappy piece because, I mean, look, like that looks like a little Harry Potter character. Look, there's like a cat eye. It's like these random little pops of things just sprinkled throughout this whole thing that makes it just so, so unique. And I couldn't leave it behind, not for $2.99. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So this is number one. And yes, you heard that, number one. I actually did take a video of what I found. I'm pretty sure I did. And I'll go ahead and insert it here. Oh my God, look. Ah. You guys, there's quilt starters. There's that one. Oh my gosh, there's a couple of them. Oh no, we're in trouble. Okay, so they were machine sewn. That's okay. Oh, look how fun for a kid's quilt. Wow, there's a lot on this one. Oh, look how pretty. Yeah, these are folded in 4. And here's another heart. All right, guys, I gotta pause. I'm gonna put this, oh my gosh, look at Daffy Duck. And that's embroidered on there. Okay, so somebody really took the time to do some stitching on here. All right, I'm gonna sit you guys down. I'm gonna go look through these. I think we're gonna rescue 1 or 2 of these and take them home with us today, but I'm not sure which ones. I gotta open them up. All right, we have the 2 hearts and that one. These 3 are really speaking to me. I'm gonna leave the other 2 here just because I don't know what to do with them. But maybe next week when it heads half off, if they're still here, we'll grab them. I don't know, but we're gonna take these 3 for now. We're gonna go check out some yarn, see if there is any, and some shirts. Tell me I don't need it. Tell me I don't need it. I ended up leaving behind that really big blue one. And then I also left behind the black and white one. Um, I don't think that I would have a purpose to do something with those. Like those were just not my style. That I can get into that. But I did end up picking up the two heart ones. And I contemplated them for a minute until I really started to look at them. Both of them are marked $5.99. So again, these guys were $2.99 also. So the first one, again, it's a good size. It's a great starter. It's very unique. There's a lot here, but there's a couple reasons why. Number one, if you look at the squares, when somebody did this heart, they actually used interfacing on, so it's stiffer than just the plain fabric. Number two, they took their time when they attached this, and they used a different stitch feature on their machine to go around the outside of this heart. So now there's like this star motif that goes around each and every heart. And that to me brings so much more character to something that is very, very random. Now, am I going to leave it like this? No. This is going to probably get taken apart. I don't think I'm going to use this for a blanket, but what I think I am going to use this for is I'm going to take it apart since this was machine done and not hand sewn. And I'm going to put like squares together, and then I don't know, maybe we'll do maybe like 2x2 and then maybe put a piece on the bottom for something different. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but what I want to do is pair, because there's squares from both of these that will work together. And when I say that, it is because like this one, there's a Finding Nemo. And then on this other square, here's another Finding Nemo. And then on another square, it was a Pokemon. So where's it at? Here's a Pokemon. So there's characters sprinkled. Here's another Finding Nemo. Here's a Bugs Bunny. So there's but it's paired with a pumpkin spice. It's so different. Like it's complete random stuff just stacked together. And then here's another Pokemon. Here's that face fabric. So what I think I'm going to do is pull apart and put those like ones together and either make like a tote bag or a zipper pouch or something out of them. There's other ones like this one. There's John Deere. I'm pretty sure there is multiple John Deere ones also. Yeah, there's another one. And then there was one on this one. I know I'm going crazy and spending too much time doing this, and I think you get my point. Yeah, and right here. See, there's another John Deere one. So there's enough pieces here that we can, it's going to be a pain in the butt to rip all of these seams out, but I think it's going to be worth it because we can put like pieces together with like pieces. The ones that have the cats, there's a lot of cats on here. We can put all of the cats on one piece. We can put all of the florals on one piece, all of the characters on one piece, all of the John Deere's on one piece, and then piece things together enough to have like some kind of a whimsical bag or tote or something that I think would just be so, so cute and bring life back to something that is just so random. Or should we just leave it and quilt it? Let me know what your thoughts are. because I really would love to know what your opinion is. But I had to get both of those. Those were not staying there. We had to rescue those. Look how cute. I mean, like, how cute would that be? Like this one right here. Like, look at that. How? All right. All right, friends. Just visualize with me for a second. Tote bag. That brings Americana vibes. Or go for and do a crossbody. Because like we can even still put batting behind this and we could quilt it and it would even look like a quilt. But we can just do straight line up and down and horizontal if we really wanted to. That way it doesn't interfere with the hearts and the quilting or the embroidery that was already done on it. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Look, this one has different stitching embroidered, and so does this one. So she even mixed up her embroidery patterns on these when she was attaching them. I love, love, love those so much. Okay, we got to speed things up because we're losing daylight. And then I found a partial jelly roll. This was $4.99. I haven't even opened this up, so I have no idea what's in this one, but the next bag is one I want to really get into that's going to take some time. And then the very last bag will be super quick because that was today's finds and should go fast. Oh, it is a brand new jelly roll. I lied. So it is a brand new jelly roll. Still in the package. There's absolutely no branding on it. I have no clue who the maker of is it. Who the maker of it is. And no clue. All I know is it's greens. And I'm not going to open it because this is going to go up on my shelf right now until I have a project meant for it. But a jelly roll for $4.99. This was not half off. And neither was this next bag. But along the lines of this, I think this may have came from the same home. Because it looks like she might have been starting something else. And this bag was $7.99. I paid full price for this one. But I felt that this had life needed to be brought back to this. This could not stay on that shelf. It needed to be loved, and I am excited. We're going to open this now. I want to flip through this really quick with you. I have been waiting very anxiously to get into this. I don't know. I'm assuming that this is just going to be mixed materials, that it's going to be machine stitched like that other topper was. But frankly, I don't even care. Oh my God, there's so much here. Okay, just to give you an idea, look at this. Oh my gosh, there's so much here. Okay, we're gonna do this quick. At a quick glance, this must be from the same person. This is all machine done. I can see some duplicate fabrics used in this that were used in that other topper and the other pieces. And it looks like there was the heart pieces were from the same person too, because I can see some duplicate fabrics in there too. Oh my gosh, there are some pieces in here that are so good. There's a mix of materials. It's not all cotton. There's some satiny pieces in here too. All right, we're going to run through and just do a quick flip through. I'm going to just quickly show these, and I'm probably going to fast forward it, so it's going to be super fast because there's a lot here to get through. Might have to lay this one out. Oh, there's bigger ones to see how big this one would be if I put all of the pieces of this one together. I would be curious to see that. And that's the last one. That was so good. I am so excited for that. I can't wait to do something with it. If you have any ideas or thoughts of what you would do with it, I would love to know in the comment section down below. Um, I'm always looking for some good project ideas. I think this would look really cute with one of these on the back of a jean jacket even. Um, I, I'm trying to think outside of the box. I might have to do a book sleeve possibly with one of these, but I would love to know your thoughts on what you would use it for. Okay, we are down to the last bag, and these are things that I grabbed today. This is going to go really quick because we're at the very end. I actually went back with the intention to pick up 2 sheet sets specifically that I left behind last week, and I was hoping that they were still going to be there, and they were. And then I ended up grabbing a third one just because I thought that it would make a good liner fabric. But have you ever looked at something and you don't buy it, and then it's like, oh, I wish I would have bought it. Oh, I wish I would have bought it. And then it lives rent free in your head for ages. and I'm probably going to fast forward it, so it's going to be super fast because there's a lot here to get through. This is that satiny material that I was talking about. It's got little dogs on it. It's so cute. Look how cute that piece is. This was definitely intended for another quilt because there's some strips, then there's some squares, and it keeps getting bigger. You can tell she was piecing things together. I am in love with the colors that she was using on this. And I am so grateful to have this because these are going to be so good. Oh my gosh, there's so much here. Oh, there's two there. I love this color scheme that she was going for. Oh, it's so good. Oh, there's another little shorty square. Okay, now I'm going to slow down a little bit because we've got some big pieces. So there's this one. Oh, I feel like I'm fumbling. Very shaky today, too. Hope that doesn't mean a migraine's coming tomorrow. That was so good. That was so, so good. There we go. That was this sheet. There was something about these dainty florals that I have not been able to stop thinking about for the last week. This sheet is